to be schooled. It really did not take me long to grab hold of some of these platforms and begin using them. And I don't know, I'm not sure if I could imagine doing anything not on Zoom or not on WebEx. So now, education are these changes in education, these adaptations in education have led to some surprising innovations. They really have. You know, over the past 2 years, I've seen platforms emerge. I've seen people, teachers who are, you know, my age or even older, you know, 45, 50, 55 years old. I've seen these teachers who were not very comfortable with using computers. I've seen them become quite savvy. And I've seen public and private partnerships grow. I've seen that. I've seen private companies come to the aid of schools. And I've seen these partnerships develop over the past 2 years. And they have developed out of necessity. And I've seen these partnerships with private institutions. I've seen these partnerships develop to the point to where these private institutions are finally listening to what we need. But, the digital divide has widened. It has widened. It has. You know, I speak to teachers from developing countries, like in some more rural areas of Indonesia or the Philippines or even in Thailand. And the students who have digital devices, they're fine, but sometimes they lack 4G or 5G access, and they have difficulty accessing even Wi-Fi in public places. So sometimes it's challenging for them to learn. And we have seen that, look, a $400 US dollar mobile device, that's probably more than what some families make per month. So trying to provide digital devices to millions and millions of students across the world, that hasn't worked out very well. It really hasn't. And you know, that this is a positive thing. Resilience is being built into educational systems worldwide. Again, I remember the conversations I had in the beginning of the coronavirus situation. I remember the conversations. I don't know how we can make it. My students do not have mobile devices. They do not have laptops, you know, and just everyone was panicking and everyone was so stressed. And the schools were sort of leaving it up to the teachers to solve these problems. And many school systems around the world, the education administrators or the education leaders were not doing a very good job. So the teachers became resilient and the students became resilient. It only took just a few months for everyone to say, okay, you know what? The government in our country or the government in our area is not doing anything. We need to solve our own problems. And I've seen that all over the world. Because, you know, academic institutions do not want to change. Now, I know those of you who are listening to my voice, you are university lecturers, or you are students who are student teachers, or you are being trained to be teachers. You know, in so many educational institutions, lecturers are still doing lecture-based approaches to teaching. And all they do is talk for 3 hours. There's no communication. There's no two-way communication. Like I said in the beginning, look, I'm not going to talk for 45 minutes. I'm going to say what I have to say and stop. And then we're going to have some conversations. See, and this mindset, this is the way we have always done it. These institutional biases are these outmoded classrooms. You would be surprised that there are even some universities that women are not allowed to speak. Men can only speak. If a man is a lecturer, and if a young man asks a question, the male lecturer will be more agreeable. But if a woman asks a question, the male lecturer will speak down to her or be quite disagreeable. And these biases have been around a long time. Well, the coronavirus pandemic has really shined a light on some of these biases. And it has been a catalyst. It really has been a catalyst for change in education. It really has. And it has happened very quickly. Now, there are creative solutions that have happened in the world of education. And, synchronous face-to-face video instruction, or synchronous means two-way, right? At the same time. And this type of education, or this setting this was the traditional fallback type education settings. But with asynchronous, or one way, or you're doing it alone, the asynchronous education system has been adopted because of the coronavirus pandemic. And teachers have realized, this is very important. Teachers have realized that they messed up. Teachers realized that they did all the talking. They never let their students openly have conversation with them. They never let their students debate. They never encouraged critical thinking. They only encouraged memorize for the exam, memorization, rote learning, one-way communication, transmission type education settings. And when it came for the students to learn on their own with minimal help from the teacher, millions of students across the world were lost. And, I hear teachers all the time, my students are so lazy. Okay, well, probably, yes. But you have done everything for your students. You even read the instructions on the top of their papers for them, because you never gave them the opportunity to be responsible for themselves. And when it came time for them, when they were forced to be responsible for themselves, they were not in the habit. So they failed miserably. And then teachers blame students for being lazy. Well, it was probably because of the way the students were taught. Now, I said earlier that some students did not have access to 4G or 5G technology. And that was true. That was true 2 years ago. But private companies and even school systems have worked together with governments to install 4G technology or 5G technology in many countries. I don't want to say most countries, but in many countries, this technology has been installed, even in areas where there was not mobile service before. Mobile companies have installed mobile service in those areas. just for the benefit of the students. And yes, you know, the idea of learning anywhere, anytime, that has been promoted. That has been really, really promoted in the minds of the teachers. And you know, now when we talked about class time, like Mondays and Tuesdays, I have classes in the morning, and they're online, they're virtual. We use Zoom or we use WebEx, and it's learning anywhere and anytime. Some of the students are out in their garden, some are sitting out by the swimming pool, some are in coffee shops, anywhere, anytime. I love it. I love it. And sure, look, I tell you, I miss the face-to-face. I miss the social interaction. I really do. But my goodness, I love sitting in a coffee shop. I love sitting in a coffee shop. I'm sorry, but you know, okay, now sitting in coffee shops during virtual learning sessions probably do not work for young learners. Can you imagine kindergarten or primary school children sitting in coffee shops? No, I mean, that doesn't work. But parents, over the past couple of years, parents have created spaces in their homes. Parents have created safe spaces or learning spaces. And parents have done very well. Now, again, traditional in-person classroom learning, it's some students do not have access to 4G or 5G. Oh, I don't need any help. Thank you. I appreciate the help, and I appreciate listening to myself, probably via YouTube or live streaming. So thank you. So traditional in-person classroom learning is really being complemented by new learning modalities from live broadcast, just like what I heard. I heard my own voice. Yeah, I don't like my voice. I'm thinking about changing my voice and making my voice more handsome. So, you know, look, in-person classroom learning will never be the same, because there are so many platforms, and there have been so many virtual reality experiences that students will not be able to go back to traditional learning so easily. And I hope students do not go back to traditional learning. I hope when sorry. So can someone please mute everyone, please?
Yes, sir. Please wait.
Okay.
Tolong di mute yang selain beliau.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you. So I hope students do not want to go back to the traditional face-to-face lecturing mode. I hope teachers do not want to go back to that type of mode. Can you imagine sitting in a classroom for 3 hours now, and the teacher just talking the whole time, and the students, their cameras are turned off? Oh, that's such a miserable experience. You know, I need to see your face. We are not meeting face to face. There's no more close social interaction. If your camera is off, I feel isolated, and the students feel isolated. So I hope we never go back to the traditional teacher talk all the time, and students sits and listens and play on their phones and hide their phones behind their bags because they are bored. See, online learning could become a habit. Online learning could really become a habit that is integrated forever in our daily routines. I would love to see that. I really would. And you know, I like I said before, just in the past 2 years, so many things have changed. So many things have changed. Digital platforms have become the solution to the crisis. And emerging countries, developing countries, education has always been predominantly provided by the government. You know, some of these governments are turning to private companies. They're turning to private companies to help solve the problems. And these educational innovations they have received more attention. They have received more attention in the past 2 years than they have ever before. Well, necessity breeds change, and it's necessary for us to have educational innovation. And again, I will say this again and again. I hope teachers see, especially language teachers. I'm sorry. I hope language teachers, English teachers, see that memorizing a bunch of vocabulary words and just focusing abstract concepts, grammar concepts that the students will never use in their life, forcing these things upon students, it makes them hate the language. So use educational solutions and innovation to teach English, to teach languages, and develop yourself and encourage your students to respond and to use these educational innovations as well. And you know, again, international corporations, they're finally coming around, and they're saying, okay, governments, we have been telling you for years you should change this. And education systems are always stuck in the mud, you know, in the mud. Imagine your feet stuck in the mud and, you know, it just wants to pull you down. That's what governments have been doing for the past 40 years. They're just not wanting to be innovative. Well, the coronavirus sort of made them become innovative. And schools have had to find solutions to continue teaching. And now learning is heavily dependent on the quality of digital access. It is. I'm sorry, it is. But think about it. Recent numbers, 60% of the globe's population is online. You know, I looked earlier, right before the conference started today. Do you know Indonesia has 275 million people, or just over 275 million people? And I looked at the statistics about exposure to online or mobile internet. Oh my goodness, 86%. 86% of Indonesians, adult teenagers, right? 86% have a mobile device with online access. You know, this is almost 90% of the population, the teenagers and adults have mobile devices, 90%. So there's always access to education. There's always access. And it's easier to access education via mobile devices, tablets, laptops, phones, than it is to go to schools. So the last section of my presentation, the internet is a beautiful place. We have access to just about anything that we want. And it breaks my heart that some countries restrict internet access. Come on, the students are going to find a way. There are something called VPNs. So if a student wants to access something that you might consider unhealthy, they will do it anyway. So if you are restricting access to internet, you're wasting your time. So, see, virtual classes on personal tablets is the norm. I use my iPad for everything. Here, I'm using my laptop, but I normally use my iPad. I really do. And look, in less developed economies, come on, we have social media, we have email. I have taught classes using WhatsApp. I love WhatsApp. WhatsApp is beautiful. I have spoken with students. We did WhatsApp groups. We did a group call, or I mean, whatever you have to do to help your students, and it works. So when someone says, "I do not have access," or I have limited access, maybe help them see other ways that they can experience learning. You know, and this statement is kind of harsh, but it's true. Poorer families are less digitally savvy families. Their children kind of get left behind. You know, they're so if possible, education systems should maybe have some sort of basic introduction of social media classes for the families. Because look, there are some people, some parents who really have no idea how to operate a mobile device, or maybe very simple operation. If the schools could introduce the parents to some of the platforms that they are using, the parents might be a little more accommodating. And, like I said earlier, when the classes went online, a lot of students lost out because the digital devices and data was just too expensive. Now, companies are seeing, hey, we need to help. So the cost of data has decreased some, not enough. And the access has increased. It has. So the gap in education quality is not as bad as it was 2 years ago. But look, everyone needs educational access, everyone. So schools and private companies, they should come together to provide the latest technologies at reasonable cost for the people. And if COVID-19 has taught us anything, is that resilience in our education systems is the only way to survive. Adaptation. I love it. I'm actually reading a book about Charles Darwin, and he says species survive through adaptation, and same thing with educational systems. Because look, the pandemic was just an opportunity to remind us. The pandemic has been an opportunity to remind us that the things we were doing before, the ways we were teaching before, were not conducive to providing competent, competitive young people who could survive in a global economy. So teachers, I hope you have learned over the past 2 years that students must be informed decision makers, and they must be free to create, and they must be free to think critically, and that your pedagogies must encourage critical thinking. So all this information has come from the World Economic Forum, and I'm actually editing a book with my friends in Malaysia about critical pedagogy. So a lot of the things that I presented today are from our research. Some of the information is from the World Economic Forum. So I strongly suggest that you take a look at the WEF. So remember, remember, change is the end result of all true learning. When you learn, when you are exposed to new information, your mind opens and you feel free, and change happens in your mind and in your life. And then people around you see that change and they start changing. So education is needed everywhere. Education about everything. So when we are able to travel again, I want to visit you, and I want you to come to Thailand and visit us. So here is my WhatsApp contact. You can scan the QR code. You can scan the QR code, and you can contact me. I really don't do social media like Facebook. I use Messenger, but I don't have a Facebook page. I don't use Instagram, and my goodness, I will not use TikTok. They just waste too much time. I'm busy. I read, I study, and I write. I don't have time to play on Facebook. So if you want to send me a message on WhatsApp, I would love to hear from you. So again, there is the QR code. Give it a scan, and you can add me on WhatsApp. So there you go. I'm stop sharing. Okay, let's go. Questions?
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. David. What a fruitful seminar. What a fruitful materials. Okay. So, dear participants, would you please write down your question into the chat room, or maybe you can ask to Mr. David right away. You know that his material is related with you. Yeah, you are as the teachers of young children. You face the online system right now because of the pandemic era, you know, and teaching English or bilingualism is our first, yeah, this is our first class. We have our first class in bilingual teaching, sir. So it is our first year for teaching English to young learners.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Okay. We are
So,
starting and struggling with the syllabus because we don't know what to do related with the science of English and also social studies of English, because there are a lot of things to be worked with the teachers, because most of our students are adult. They have, yeah, you know, starting to learn English is quite difficult for them, but they have to teach their students English. So it's a bit, you know, it's a bit work for us.
oh well, you know, I'm currently in the process of writing a chapter for a book to be published by Springer.
Oh.
Yes, I am writing a chapter on EMI in Thailand, English medium instruction. So what you're talking about, I am quite familiar, especially with young children. You know,
Yeah.
we the research the research shows that education systems, especially EMI programs, are diligently put together. They're thought out very well, but they often fail because the teachers are low quality. The teachers are
Yeah.
trained, and you know, you would be shocked. You would be shocked at how many programs around the world, like English majors, you know, teachers who are being trained to teach English. You would be surprised at how many of their lecturers cannot use English, and how many lecturers are still presenting 100% in their L1. They're not exposing the teachers to any techniques, nothing. That's so sad.
Yeah, sir.
So if your lecturers cannot speak English, you need to change your lecturers. Really?
Yes, sir.
Quickly. Like your English is lovely. Your pronunciation is clear. It sounds like you spent a lot of time in a foreign country.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. I need a lot of time to improve and learn, of course.
Very good.
Okay.
So come on, give me some questions. Do not worry about your English. I will not laugh at you.
Okay.
Well, okay, maybe a little bit.
There is a student that is actually send me a direct message. Muhammad Miftahuddin, would you please ask your question right away to Pak David? Yeah, he sends me a message, a direct message here.
Oh, talk to me. Where are you?
Miftah, would you please activate your microphone? It's okay to ask by yourself.
And your camera. Let me see your face.
Miftah, where is Miftah? Ya, silahkan Miftah. Pertanyaannya bisa langsung.
Hey.
Yes. Assalamualaikum. Good afternoon, Mr.
Good morning. It's still
Good
morning.
morning. Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Afternoon. It's okay. Okay.
Okay.
Silahkan Miftah.
Sorry, Mr. I want to ask, what is the best innovation? What is the best innovation that can be applied in new normal era? What is the best innovation of education? What is the best innovation in the world of education that can be applied on new normal era?
What is the best innovation that can be applied? Okay, great. Oh my goodness. There's no, well, you know what? There is no one best. The best innovation is the one that works best for your situation. And that is the truth. You know, dealing with adult learners, adult learners such as yourself, I find that some certain pedagogies or anthragogies work better than others. So it depends on the age group, the proficiency level of the students. Sure, the best innovation is the one that works best for you. I'm sorry if that question seems a bit off, but that is the best answer, whichever one works best for you. Sorry.
Yes. Thank you very much for your answer.
Are you a teacher?
I am a student, but I ever teach in Islamic Basic School.
Oh, nice. What subject do you teach?
With English.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks very much, sir.
Good.
I'm glad to see you.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Thanks.
Next.
Another question, please.
Sure. Anything. Oh, I see. Who's that? Dina.
Oh
Wira?
yeah, Dina Wira. Yeah,
Hey.
would you please? Yeah, you may ask to Pak David. Silahkan.
Hello.
Okay. Hi, Mr. David. How are
Hey,
you?
hello.
Nice to meet you. Okay, I have a question. Do you have any special recipes for us? How to improve us as a teacher to be ready in facing every changing in education, such as now we have a pandemic. So we have to be ready to face it, to take care of the student and also to improve ourselves. Yeah, as you know, as a teacher, we have to be better in knowledge day by day. I want more in knowledge like that.
Okay.
So, do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Terima kasih. Now, there,
Okay, sama.
yeah, the pandemic, the pandemic would be the perfect time to develop yourself. I tell everyone, I tell all teachers, all English teachers all over the world, you must be the best at using the language. Okay, I tell them that. Just because you understand grammar points does not make you an English teacher. English is a language. If you cannot communicate using English, then you are not a qualified teacher. Okay, so if you want to be a better communicator or a better user of English, I suggest a couple of things. Number one, watch Netflix. Watch series in English. Watch Netflix. Look, you spend all day watching Netflix and YouTube anyway, and you watch Korean dramas. So I know what you do. So why not spend some time watching a very polite Netflix series in English and turn off the subtitles.
Okay.
You are English teachers.
Okay.
You don't need subtitles. My goodness. So Netflix, join YouTube, Facebook groups. Okay. There are so many. There are so many Facebook groups that they have conversations. They have group conversations, even group texts or group chats. Join English learning Facebook groups. They're free. They're free. So Netflix, watch the series. Facebook groups, group chats, group calls, YouTube videos. YouTube videos are okay, but the language is kind of unnatural, especially when they have two people having an A-B conversation. Good morning, David. How are you? Oh, I am fine. Thank you. And you? Oh, please sit down. No, that is unnatural. So watch Netflix, join some Facebook groups, and hey, you can always get a husband from a foreign country who speaks English. You can find a handsome husband from Australia or the UK or New Zealand or the US, and then you have your own free walking handsome dictionary. So yeah. Oh, look, who's that? Nani? Neni. Nani? Yeah, Nani is like, oh, I want a handsome husband with skin. Oh no, look, she has a wedding ring. She's married already. You better not. Oh, Nani, I'm gonna tell your husband. My goodness. Jeez. Okay, so Dean Awira, that's it, my friend. Netflix series work well with my students. Facebook groups also work very well.
Okay.
Yeah. Or like,
okay. Thank you very much.
Or
you suggest me to watch Netflix.
Yeah. Or just marry a handsome man who speaks English.
Bule.
Bule. Hey, bule bulu lapa.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, welcome.
Yeah. Thank you, Pak David. Thank you, Mbak Dina.
Yeah, sure.
Another question. Maybe we can have one more question because we have 4 minutes to go.
Oh, I see. Who's that? Yusrina?
Yusrina Dinar. Okay, would you please?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, good morning, Mr. David.
Are you sure?
Okay, I will. It was really interesting speech about the innovation in education in the middle of the pandemic. But okay, I took down some notes about the innovations. You said that technology introduced to Middle Ages as an advantageous in this area, because Middle Ages right now is not really familiar with technologies. And then you say that at the second point, public and private institution has grown more rapidly. Okay, I agree with that. But then when you say that the most, what is it? The most advantageous thing in this pandemic era in educational area is a digital. I'm not quite sure that was the best part in this
Okay.
pandemic, that the digital system is a positive things, because as you say that yes, we indeed has so many development in what to say, in people right now has so many access in digital information, in having gadgets. But the sad fact is that still not all of them having that access.
Mhm.
In example, I still find so many cases that an elementary children cannot access the educational online system. They cannot get what they should get at the face-to-face school. And I think that is the most unfortunate thing about doing the online education in this pandemic era, because a lot of people has lost a lot of things, a lot of changes, a lot of chances in what should they get if they are doing the in face-to-face school. But what I want to say is, it's not actually what I want to ask, but I want to say, probably you will agree with me too, is, don't you think communication is the most innovation, is the most important thing to be developed both by teachers and by students? Because okay, let's say that digital make everything easier, but when a teacher cannot communicate very well with their students, or when the students cannot communicate well with their teacher, it will be useless. So I think the most thing that we should learn, we should grow more, we should fix is the way both of us communicate with each other. Because I've seen so many times that teachers in this online class, teachers will kind of, well, this is just an online class, I will just give them what is it, like quizzes, and then I will let them just submit it. So there are no communication. The students learn by themselves, and the teachers are just doing their job. It's not what they should do, you know? Like, I've seen so many people not doing their job correctly. Like, when you should do a teaching on an online teaching, you should do a two-way communication, but they didn't. So I think communication is the most important thing in this era. So I would love to hear your opinion about this.
Okay, great. You know, I wish more people thought that way. Thank you. You know, you are correct, but you have to see digital platforms as tools. That's all they are, tools. They are neither good nor bad. They are tools. And during this pandemic, where we cannot meet face to face, we need another way to meet. And virtual meeting places or virtual platforms are the only way that we can meet. So yes, face-to-face learning is sort of gone for the moment. And the closest face-to-face learning we can have is through a digital platform. Well, when you spoke about the teachers are not doing their jobs, the teachers are not supporting the students, the students are not participating, there is no intrinsic motivation. Yes. We see this all over the world. But the truth is, I said, Yusrina, is that right? Yusrina? Yes, okay. Well, the thing is, the way the teachers are teaching using digital platforms, that's the same way they taught before. So it's nothing to do with digital platforms. The teachers still have the same habits that they had before, and I really hope they notice that they have to change what they do, because the way you taught before the digital world exploded does not work now. And yes, you're right. Teachers are just giving quizzes. The students, they're not turning on their cameras. They're not participating. You know, like, look, we have 53 participants, and what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cameras out of 53. And oh, someone is turning the camera in the room. You know, look, this is how it is. Children learn from example. Children watch us. So if we participate in online classes and we don't turn on our cameras and we don't participate, well, what do we expect from our students? So yes, digital platforms are just tools. The changes begin with us. And if we continue to be the same miserable teachers that are not very functional, you know, we're just continually hurting our students. So I like your points. Yeah, they're good, but don't blame digital learning. Don't blame virtual learning. It's the teachers. Because when someone says, I English teacher, you know, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I feel so sorry for your students. And if an education system allows an unqualified person to teach a subject, that education system is corrupted. Remember, don't be angry at me. So, okay, there you go. Oh, hey, real quick, ask about education more important to change the world. The key is with Learn English. How make people aware if English lesson is more important? You know what? Laylian, is that right? Laylian? Laylian. Hey, Laylian.
Yes.
Can I see your face? Okay. Hey, there you go. Okay. You know, look, I have an article here by HU. Who is talking about integrating education into developing countries, okay? They say, after all, a methodology is only effective to the extent that teachers and students are willing to accept and implement it in good faith. And whether it is accepted or not is largely determined by the set of values and beliefs that these teachers and students have been socialized into. So you ask, is English important? Well, yes, of course. Learning more than one language is important for everyone. If you can only speak one language, then your mind is very limited. So yes, English is important. And with 275 million people, Indonesia should be focusing on developing their human resources. That way, Indonesia would stop being at the very low economic status. Just imagine sending 10% of the citizens as overseas foreign workers. Just imagine the income into your country. That's what I tell people. You want to know how to change the world? You want to know if English is the key? You want to know if English is important? Yes, 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 yes. But the people have to accept that English is important. And when you have teachers who are just not qualified to teach a subject and the government allows them to teach, that just makes the human resource development, it just does not develop.
Yes, but in Indonesia, I think for speaking English is still a lot of people is very difficult for speaking.
Oh, sure. Of
A lot of
course.
people in here is can to write, can to read, but how to speaking sometimes is very difficult.
Well, you know, just like in Thailand, Indonesia has a very similar system. Your education system does not teach you to use a language. Your education system only teaches you how to pass exams. So then you're not competitive global citizens. You're just stuck. So maybe your teacher should be more developed, and maybe your teachers should use more English in the classroom. Maybe your teacher should encourage you to use more English in the classroom, for you to speak.
Yes. For this time, I try to open the cards and I try to give for free.
Yeah.
Limit pay, and then so that the people can interest to learn English more and very easy, like in small village, like my village, I'm stay there.
Yeah. Well, look, I volunteer several hours per week. Teachers invite me to speak with their classes in small villages. You know, they put a camera in the room, they show my image on the projector, and you know, I give the students 1 hour to speak with me. And I do that all the time for free. So if you want me to speak with your class and encourage them to use English, I would be more than happy to.
Yes. Before coronavirus, I opened cars in Sasab village. I'm joined with American people from Play House in Pare, from Pare.
Okay.
And then the coronavirus disease, for 2 years, I closed.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And then
Well,
very sad.
Okay. So remember, the last thing I want everyone to hear, please, universities, government agencies, recruit qualified teachers to teach English. If the teachers are not qualified, train them, encourage them to use English. Because if your populace is not competitive, your country will never be successful. So
the problem in here is sometimes the people not so confident, and how to try to make the people confident to speak English to the other people.
yeah, very good question. You know, foreign language anxiety. Foreign language anxiety. We completed a study on foreign language anxiety last year, and we're actually doing another study now. We're finding out, why are people so anxious? Why are they shy to speak English? And we found that the people are shy because the culture and the society does not support them. When your students try to speak English and they make mistakes, their classmates bully them, or the teacher bullies them. That's horrible. That's horrible. So look, if you want people to be more confident at using English, you should support their mistakes.
Yes.
Let them speak. Let them make mistakes, okay? That will help them. Encourage them. That's all you have to do, and they will be fine.
Thanks
Okay.
very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mbak Lailin, and also Pak David. Okay, I do really sorry to interrupt you, but David, I want to you to add something to avoid the misconception and also the misunderstanding about teaching online for our students. That teaching online is not only, you know, give it to the online form. What is that? Like just giving the quizzes and the teacher just sitting down and watching them do this. So would you please share to our students how are the steps and what can we do in teaching online? I do teaching online, sir, actually. I teach online too with my young learners student at home. And I usually use some, you know, video and the student also repeating the English and maybe using some speaking card of a board game and etc. But from Mr. David, would you please share another way to teach in online?
Oh yeah, look, teaching online, especially with young learners. I love young learners because I can be silly, you know. Okay, watch. Let me see this right here. Wait, let me see. Okay.
Okay.
See, now look.
Yeah.
When I teach, when I teach, I do silly things. Why? Because students like silly things, and especially young learners. They like these things, and there is nothing wrong with entertaining the young learners. See, children learn when they play. You're not going to control a young learner. I mean, you have them 10 minutes, that's it, you lost them, they're gone, right? So you have to be a little entertaining and use and implement your pedagogy, implement your topic and your subject into the entertainment. You have to just feel free. You know, use videos. Look, children love to tell stories. Young children love to tell stories. Every class without fail, I always ask someone to tell me, what did you do this weekend? Or what did you do yesterday? Or, you know, talk about whatever topic that they want to talk about. I don't care. Whatever they want to talk about, I let them speak. Freedom, entertainment. That's what I suggest.
Freedom and entertainment.
And don't worry, you can have rabbit ears. You can have mouse ears. No one cares.
Okay.
Your students will love you.
Rifan, it's so funny. Pak Rifan is trying it, sir. Okay.
Yeah. You know,
Okay.
actually, why are we not doing that? Why is that?
Okay.
I mean,
Maybe we can start it together right now.
see, there you go. I mean, everyone should have a hat, or everyone should have ears. See, and we do that. Yes, you see, there you go. Just do something. Feel free. Make your students feel free, and it will be fine. It will be fine. See, you have to be silly.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, Pak David. Oh my God. Okay. I think how would be nice if we have class with you. Okay. But I do really sorry to interrupt you that our time is limited now and we
I'm
come
finished.
up to the next session. Yeah.
I'm tired.
But you get any avocado juice, sir?
No, I want avocado juice. My goodness. And I want Padang food. I
Oh
haven't,
my
I
God.
haven't
Nasi
had
Padang.
oh, I haven't had Padang food in so long. And I haven't had the yellow rice, the yellow sweet rice
Yeah,
with
nasi
coconut.
kuning. Yeah, Bapak.
Oh, I need that. What's wrong with you? Oh, I'm so hungry. Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
I'm tired.
Let me come up to the conclusion. Please correct me if I'm wrong, Pak David. You know that students, what we can get from Pak David is that we know that coronavirus has reshaped education in every sectors, especially in education. Everything has been started virtually. So as a teacher, we should be more innovative in a short of time. We can use a lot of platform to teach. We can implement standard asynchronous online learning tools augmented with synchronous face-to-face video instruction. You know that by teaching online, student can learn anywhere, anytime, and also they will get what we call multimodal literacy to get the material for us. So, and for the student who want to learn English everywhere, anytime, also remember what Mr. David says, that watch Netflix, of course. Ya, terima kasih banyak Pak David. Thank you very much.
Okay, terima kasih, my friend.
Yeah.
I am going to eat lunch.
Okay. Enjoy, sir.
I need to go cook something for my wife.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hope that you can go to Trawulan someday. You know, there are a lot of traditional temple here. You can enjoy your avocado juice right away beside the segaran right here.
I just want to eat Indonesian food. I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to eat.
Padang food. Yeah.
Oh,
Terima kasih
yeah.
banyak,
Oh.
Pak David.
Okay.
Thank you,
Bye-bye,
sir.
everyone.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah,
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, terima
Bye.
kasih.
Bye-bye.
All right. So, what a fruitful seminar, isn't it, everyone? So, ladies and gentlemen, we come up to the second section of our seminar. So, I would like to invite Mrs. Neni Mariana SPD MSc PhD as our second speaker. Halo, Assalamualaikum Bu Neni.
Waalaikumsalam Bu Iren.
Oh, Masya Allah, adik-adik ini. Mohon maaf adik ya, agak lama ini nunggu mama. Okay, before we begin the seminar, let me share Bu Neni curriculum vitae. It's such an inspiration one. It's such an inspiring one. Okay, everyone, can you see my share screen, my screen right now? Yeah. Let me introduce you about Bu Neni Mariana. Bu Neni is a lecturer at Elementary Teacher Education Department, Faculty of Education from Universitas Negeri Surabaya. Her educational background: undergraduate from Pendidikan Matematika Universitas Negeri Surabaya. Wow, okay. This master from Realistic Mathematics Education from Netherlands, and also she got her PhD from Mathematics Education, Murdoch University, Western Australia. Masya Allah. Okay. You can read right here about her book or chapter titles. This is all about her writing, such as STEM, transformative STEM education for sustainable futures, and also integrasi kearifan lokal dalam pembelajaran IPA. And also you may see right there, etnopedagogi, kajian lintas bidang studi di sekolah dasar. He has written so many articles like The newest one is in service teachers' perception on implementing realistic mathematics education approach in their best practice. And for your information, everyone, that Bu Neni Mariana is the best PhD thesis award in 2 years at Murdoch University, Western Australia gather. Wow, Masya Allah, what's an inspiring woman. Okay, so because we have a limited time now, Bu Neni, would you please start your presentation, your seminar? We would kindly hear it. Okay, the time is yours, Bu Neni.
Thank you, Ibu Iren. Because Pak David is not here. I will deliver my presentation, especially in Indonesian language, so everybody can understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
And then, but mostly my PowerPoint slides are in English, so let me share it first. All right. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Terima kasih. Sebelumnya saya sampaikan kepada STITNU Al-Hikmah Mojokerto yang sudah memberikan kepercayaan untuk saya hadir di dalam seminar atau konferensi internasional konferensi hari ini. Sebuah kebanggaan tersendiri bagi saya karena bisa bertemu dengan Bapak Ibu di STITNU Al-Hikmah Mojokerto. Mobil khusus saya sampaikan terima kasih kepada Bapak Dr. Andes Haji Muhsinin MSI dan juga Pak Yusuf. Pak Yusuf ini mantan mahasiswa saya, Bu Iren ya. Bukan mantan saya ya, tapi
Nah, Pak Yusuf.
Jadi ini inspiring students ever ya, yang saya pernah punya di PGSD. Sampai sekarang kayaknya jadi inspiring lectures ya di sana.
Favorit ini, Bu Neni.
Ya, favorit, saya tahu itu. Saya penggemar IG-nya, Bu. Baik, Bapak Ibu, hari ini dan teman-teman mahasiswa, today I will deliver my presentation probably in both languages, English and Indonesia. But most of the slides are in English. Recovery the world, recovery educational research. That's the topic that I want to deliver today. And ini yang ingin saya sampaikan hari ini, outline-nya adalah pertama memperjelas konteks dari background yang akan saya presentasikan. Yang kedua, menyampaikan impact dari pandemi yang kita sedang lalui. Lalu perubahan pada riset di bidang pendidikan, alternatif dan saran. Lalu konklusi. Nah, terkait dengan presentasi saya lebih memilih fokus kepada riset karena Pak David sudah fokus kepada pendidikannya. Jadi kita akan melihat sama-sama perubahan-perubahan riset di dunia pendidikan dan mudah-mudahan bisa menginspirasi Bapak Ibu dosen dan juga teman-teman mahasiswa di STITNU Al-Hikmah untuk topik riset ke depannya. Yang pertama adalah background yang pertama, tentunya teman-teman juga sudah paham ya kita berada pada situasi in between pandemic. Kenapa saya bilang in between? Karena kita antara iya dan tidak ya, apakah sudah selesai atau belum gitu. Karena beberapa negara ya, some countries saja. Kita tunggu Presiden Jokowi mendeklarasikan diri bahwa pandemik juga sudah usai di Indonesia, ya, dalam waktu dekat insya Allah. Nah, di sini ada konteks di pandemi ini yang sangat erat kaitannya dengan dunia pendidikan, yaitu physical distancing. Explain how the educational system changed rapidly during this over 2 years. Jadi selama 2 tahun ini karena situasi ini kita mengalami perubahan yang sangat drastis di dunia pendidikan. Karena kita nggak boleh berdekatan, kita harus melalui Zoom meeting atau platform video call seperti ini untuk menyampaikan pengetahuan yang kita miliki. Nah, tentunya apa ya, konteks yang kedua yang kita perlu tekankan di sini adalah tentang pembelajarannya, teaching and learning. Bagaimana nanti hal itu memberikan impact kepada dunia pendidikan kita. Di sini kalau saya ambil konteksnya itu di keSD-an karena saya dari PGSD, dan kita bisa lihat di sini bagaimana guru-guru SD berusaha sekuat tenaga di Indonesia untuk menyampaikan lessons ya, pembelajaran melalui platform-platform digital yang dengan cepat harus mereka kuasai. Yang paling gampang ini Zoom ya, tapi Zoom pun masih belum semua mengetahui fitur-fiturnya dan belum semua bisa menggunakannya secara advance gitu ya. Padahal di situ ada advance feature itu ya. Kalau kita klik new share misalnya ya, di situ ada tuh advance, sudah ada pernah yang bikin belum ya? Pasti itu. Kalau Pak Yusuf itu canggih tuh ya di teknologi. Teman-teman bisa belajar ke Pak Yusuf. Nah, di advance itu nggak banyak orang yang tahu ya juga cara mengelompokkan siswa di dalam Zoom dan seterusnya. Jadi konteks presentasi kali ini adalah tentang pembelajaran khususnya di SD dan nanti kita merambah juga ke PGSD gitu ya. Nah, di PGSD pun tidak kalah seru ya bagaimana dosen berinteraksi dengan mahasiswa dari segala penjuru Indonesia melalui platform ini. Jadi ini saya beri contoh dokumentasi pribadi saya ketika mengajar PPG ya, pendidikan profesi guru, yang dimana mahasiswa saya ini kalau dilihat dari nama-namanya kan ya, Kadek Riza ini pasti dari Bali ya, Homsi dari Madura, Adel dari NTT dan seterusnya, Prila Trisna dari Bali dan seterusnya. Jadi kami punya banyak sekali mahasiswa PPG itu yang dari luar Jawa gitu. Madura juga luar Jawa kan ya. Luar pulaunya maksudnya. Karena dia pulau sendiri. Ini semua mahasiswa yang PPG ini di luar Jawa. Jadi dan itu kami dipertemukan dalam satu platform ini. Dan kalau tadi David mention tentang why don't you turn on your camera in front of me because I'm the teacher, I have to look at your face. Ya itu kebiasaan ya. Tapi kalau misalnya kita mau memutuskan turn on turn off itu kan ada because WFH ya, work from home, that's very complicated actually from mom like me. Because I have a baby, so sometimes I ask my students apologize because I have to turn off my camera while I'm breastfeeding my baby. So, jadi kadang-kadang saya bilang maaf ya, saya anak saya lagi rewel. Juga tidak bisa menuntut mahasiswa saya untuk selalu menyalakan kamera. Kadang yang di NTT nyalain kamera saat presentasi, habis itu terpental gitu kan. Yeah, because of the connection matter as well, that we cannot afford to force our students to turn on the camera all the time, and also especially when they are in the remote areas, we have to be like flexible in this way. Jadi ini yang perlu kita garis bawahi. Jadi background berikutnya adalah fokus yang akan saya bicarakan adalah tentang pendidikan dasar, pendidikan di SD atau di MI kalau di STIT nggih. Jadi nanti akan seputar itu. Contoh-contoh risetnya juga akan seputar itu. Nah, yang berikutnya di sini, sorry for that, I forgot to show me. Okay. Somehow we think that the words now becomes borderless, but is it? Kadang dunia seperti sudah tanpa batas. Kenapa? Karena now we can meet David online virtually, even though he is now in Thailand, or even probably we can meet his family as well in UK or in Australia. In America, if we can say that. Okay, can you use Zoom? I try to gathering all my friends as well from many countries through Zoom one day, and now here it is. We are meeting, but ada sebuah kayaknya nggak mungkin dunia itu tanpa batas. Sebuah delusi atau bukan gitu kan. Yang apa sih yang sebenarnya tanpa batas itu mungkin yang perlu kita gali lebih lanjut gitu ya. Kalau tanpa batas beneran kayaknya nggak juga, karena kita manusia juga terbatas ruang dan waktu. Jadi ketika kita bicara tanpa batas, not really. Jadi ada physical distance ya. Walaupun saya bicara dengan Pak David yang dari Thailand, tapi saya nggak benar-benar berada di Thailand. I don't feel the culture in Thailand. I don't see the elephants in the world. Jadi kalau di Thailand itu gajah-gajah itu banyak di jalanan gitu kan. Kayak kita banyak kucing di jalanan. Gitu. Even though I meet my friends from Nepal, I can see dogs on the road. I can see cows on the road. I can smell Nepalese smell, something like that. So kita tidak benar-benar engaging to their culture. So kita nggak benar-benar berada di situ. Tapi semuanya seperti sebuah delusi gitu ya. Tapi tetap ada sesuatu yang itu tanpa batas. Apa misalnya knowledge. Kita dan itu menjadikan kita itu bisa belajar dari mana saja ya, from everywhere ya, from everyone gitu ya. Kita mau ya. Jadi banyak sekali nih akhir-akhir ini webinar-webinar yang mengundang narasumber yang bombastis gitu ya. Seperti kemarin saya lihat salah satu jurusan di fakultas saya itu mengundang Sugiono. Pasti semua udah kenal Sugiono karena disitasi oleh banyak skripsi ya dan tugas akhir mahasiswa. Itu kan keren banget ya. Tanpa Pak Sugiono-nya datang ke kita gitu. Terus ada lagi tuh yang dari UPI ngundangnya langsung nggak tanggung-tanggung ya. Creswell misalnya. Loh, itu tanpa si Creswell datang ke UPI gitu. Dan itu lebih hemat gitu ya. Jadi yang borderless itu knowledge-nya, pengetahuannya. Kita bisa belajar dari mana saja, kapan aja, dengan waktu yang singkat ya. Bisa cek di YouTube juga dan seterusnya. Values yang kedua. Ya nilai-nilai juga jadi tanpa batas. Bisa belajar.
Kamu kok jangan kok gak telepon loh, nak mau ke sini. Gak mau.
Mas Arif saya nyuci masa diturunin. Keluar semua rahmat hati gitu. Bapak kemarin
bocor suaranya nggih ngapunten.
Nah, ini aku. Mas, kita ada itu Mbak Lip ya.
Iya itu Mbak Lipin.
Iya, bocor.
Baru kita omong ini, Mas, enggak mau buku. Anak beres di sini.
Buat hiburan sih.
Nah, yang mau caranya Mbak Lip.
Oke ya, nanti panitia bisa cek di partisipansi ya, di situ nanti yang mikrofonnya nyala bisa terlihat. Ini sudah saya mute, mohon maaf. Baik, yang berikutnya values ya, nilai-nilai. Kita jadi bertukar nilai ya, walaupun itu virtual gitu ya. Bagaimana kita memahami bahwa kalau ngobrol sama bule gitu ya, kayak Pak David, kita harus nyalain kamera gitu kan. Terus kalau misalnya kita ngobrol sama emak-emak Indonesia gitu ya, nggak apa-apa nggak nyalain kamera dan seterusnya. Kalau kita misalnya mau ada teman bikin virtual travel gitu ya, dia yang jalan-jalan ya ke UK, ke Amerika dan seterusnya, untuk kita bisa melihat bagaimana nilai-nilai yang ada di tempat-tempat itu. Tapi we cannot feel the values, but we learn about the values. Jadi kita hanya belajar saja, mengetahui saja, tapi kita nggak bisa merasakan bagaimana nilai-nilai itu bisa diinteraksikan dengan kita, karena kita tidak ada di sana. Jadi seperti sebuah delusi. Nah, ada ide yang namanya globalisasi. Nanti jika ada pertanyaan kita bisa masuk ke situ, tapi saya mention aja di sini. Ini adalah salah satu impact dari pandemi kalau menurut saya, globalisasi ini. Yang berikutnya, impact dari pandemi adalah variasi platform ya dari teknologi yang digunakan untuk pembelajaran. Ya, tadi Pak David bilang kalau tadinya saya nggak kenal apa itu Zoom ya, 2018 saja Zoom itu apa sih gitu kan, nggak ngerti. Pada tahu nggak Zoom di 2018? Tapi begitu 2020 orang langsung ada ya selain WhatsApp gitu. Jadi langsung aja cari gitu kan. Oh ada ya selain WhatsApp gitu. Teknologi platform jadi bervariasi. Ada istilah kalau dulu teknologi itu di dalam kelas dan kita perkenalkan teknologi itu untuk digunakan juga oleh guru dan siswa. Tapi now we are in the era where the technology as the classroom. Jadi teknologi inilah adalah kelas-kelas kita, kelas-kelas virtual kita, di mana kita berinteraksi between teacher and students. Jadi di dalam penggunaan teknologi ini kita mulai berpikir ya, bagaimana supaya teknologinya itu mirip banget dengan kelas tatap muka yang sebenarnya. Gitu. Bagaimana membuat anak-anak itu berdiskusi kelompok, bagaimana membuat anak-anak itu bisa memainkan media pembelajaran. Nah, di sini diperlukan digital literacy. Banyak sekali akhirnya pelatihan-pelatihan tuh Pak Yusuf tuh ya laku banget tuh. Pelatihan-pelatihan teknologi itu ya untuk edukator, untuk pendidik. Bagaimana mereka itu wajib menaikkan skillnya ya, meningkatkan skillnya di dalam penggunaan teknologi. Bahkan kalau bisa membuat teknologinya. Nah, di sini teman-teman ada perubahan di dalam bidang pendidikan ya, di dalam risetnya gitu, secara otomatis. Kalau kita search, ini saya iseng semalam search ya di Google Scholar, yang paling mudah aja ya. Ketiklah sekolah dasar misalnya. Maka kita bisa lihat di tahun 2018 sebelum pandemi, riset-riset di bidang sekolah dasar itu fokus kepada keterampilan, literasi, ya, tematik, pembelajarannya, pendidikan karakter, ya, nilai-nilai yang ada di pendidikan, dan seterusnya. Fokus kepada, kalau saya bilang, inti dari sebuah pendidikan. Ya, intinya, kualitasnya. Nah, begitu masuk ke era pandemi, yang terjadi adalah kita bisa lihat bahwa research trends itu berubah. Ya, research trends are changing in education. Apa yang berubah? Orang mulai pengen melihat platform apa nih yang paling efektif untuk bisa saya gunakan dalam pembelajaran saya. Mereka langsung mulai melakukan penelitian-penelitian pengembangan, ya, membuat media digital, pengembangan videonya, dan seterusnya. Jadi kalau kita lihat di sini semuanya terkait dengan banyak ya, mayoritas itu terkait dengan penggunaan teknologinya. Nah, tapi yang perlu kita cermati di sini, akhirnya orang sibuk memikirkan riset yang fokusnya pada teknologi as a tool. Ya, teknologi sebagai alat untuk pembelajaran. Jadi orang mikir, pakai apa ya? Aku pakai apa ya gitu. Tapi apa yang mau diberikan itu tersingkir gitu ya. Bukan hilang sama sekali, enggak, tapi terkalahkan dengan yang tool yang mau digunakan ini tadi. Fokusnya akhirnya kalah dengan pembicaraan mengenai teknologi itu sendiri. Padahal dia hanya kita gunakan sebagai tool. Tapi yang menarik nih ya, semalam saya minta Pak Yusuf nih, ada nggak link jurnalnya STIT ya? Ada Bu, oh ya, coba saya lihat ya. Di STIT itu risetnya, ngapunten ini saya oprek-oprek jurnalnya ya, untuk contoh. Ternyata masih beberapa ya, banyak ini yang di edisi terbaru 2022 saya ambil, 2021 maaf, volume 8. Itu masih tentang core of the education. Ya, jadi inti dari pendidikan itu sendiri. Saya senang banget ya lihat jurnalnya ya. Ada tentang dakwah virtual ya. Jadi memang masih platformnya yang bicarakan ya, tapi bicaranya tuh core-nya tuh pada dakwahnya, bagaimana dakwah virtual ya, terus religious karakter dan seterusnya. That's what we need, I think, in a primary education. Jadi kalau kita bicara pendidikan dasar, ya itu intinya. Gitu kan. Kata ulama-ulama kita, belajar adab sebelum ilmu. Jadi ketika ngajarin anak-anak itu yang harus diutamakan adabnya, gitu ya. Ilmunya itu ngikutin, gitu. Kalau kita enggak kan, kita kan fokusnya ke ilmunya. Bagaimana ya cara yang mengajarkan pecahan, bagaimana cara mengajar ya seorang matematika, jadi contohnya ke sana. Tapi kita nggak berpikir pecahan konteks apa di kehidupan kita yang bisa mengajak anak-anak itu untuk memiliki good values in the daily life gitu ya. Apa ya kearifan lokal kita tentang pecahan yang bisa kita ajarkan ke anak? Diskon Bu, iya. Itu nanti kita bahas lagi. Oke, saya apresiasi kepada STITNU Al-Hikmah karena konten jurnalnya oke begitu gitu ya. Nah, berikutnya saya mengarah kepada alternatif dan saran yang bisa saya berikan. Jadi kita harus menjaga muruah dari riset itu sendiri kalau saya bilang. Jadi riset itu di dunia pendidikan haruslah sesuai dengan kebutuhan dari peserta didik. Tren dari riset itu jangan dialihkan kepada hal-hal yang sifatnya teknis. Karena tadi kan David bilang ya, rapid change in technology. Kita boleh bicara hal yang teknis, tapi kontennya jangan dilupakan. Kontennya itu apa sih kalau Indonesia itu kultur. Kita tuh orang yang kaya sekali dengan kultur, ya. Jadi jangan dihapus gitu. Maka ide-ide penelitian tentang ya di dalamnya ada cultural konteks ya, misalnya orang Mojokerto apa tuh yang khas di sana di Trowulan. Ya beberapa mahasiswa saya meneliti nih eksplorasi konsep matematika SD pada seni tradisi di Desa Trowulan Mojokerto. Ini yang saya ambil contoh penelitian mahasiswa S1G. Yang berikutnya ini ada konsep geometri dalam motif batik Mojokerto sebagai peninggalan kerajaan Majapahit. Nah, Bapak Ibu sudah kenalkah motif-motif ini gitu ya? Motif Surya Mojopahit sudah kenal belum ini? Ini ada motif Banjang Ratu ya dan seterusnya. Lalu ada lagi budaya-budaya yang lain ya yang ada di dalam konteks lokal kita gitu. Ada lagi art-based culture. Art-based culture ini adalah performance ya, misalnya tari daerah, tari itu kan banyak juga ya. Ini saya masukkan art-based culture karena di dalamnya ada jaranan yang ada di Mojokerto ya, terus ada juga sculpture patung-patung ya yang ada di Trowulan, itu seni patung dan seterusnya ini ada. Lalu ini saya ambil satu yang paling menarik yang pernah saya baca dari penelitian mahasiswa saya, damar kurung. Kalau ini dari Gresik. Damar kurung ini seperti lampion, seperti lampion. Jadi dia bentuknya khas banget, kubus gitu ya. Terus dibikinnya juga khas banget karena ada ornamen-ornamen yang terkait dengan matematika. Jadi di sini jangan tinggalkan konten-konten yang terkait dengan kultur. Yang berikutnya apa? Research trends on local wisdom. Kita punya sebagai bangsa local wisdom yang luar biasa. Yang itu didasari oleh agama gitu ya, Islamic atau religious values, lalu ada juga Pancasila values. Nah, kalau kita mau istilahnya sedikit kerja keras gitu ya, kalau misalnya ngambil penelitian tentang teknologi sih gampang, banyak referensinya gitu kan. Tapi kalau penelitian tentang Islam gitu ya, tentang Islam, nah ini nih tugasnya anak-anak hikmah nih. Penelitian tentang Islam gitu ya, yang sifatnya itu eksplorasi untuk digunakan ngajar di SD gimana tuh. Masa MI sama kayak SD negeri yang atau SD lain gitu ya. Kan harus ada yang berbeda. Ke-MI-annya itu muncul. Masa anak MI belajar matematikanya sama dengan anak SD negeri yang lain gitu kan. Kan harus ada yang berbeda. Nah, di sini ada Pancasila Values, salah satu penelitian judulnya itu, dan ada Islamic Religious Values yang pernah diteliti oleh para mahasiswa saya ya tentang konteks zakat, lalu ada juga konteks matematika dalam surat Al-Baqarah. Belum semua, jadi tenang aja. Masih bisa di ini lagi. Yang berikutnya alternative suggestion untuk research trends on social issues or environmental issues. Jadi ada isu-isu environment ya. Kalau kita kaya dan yang miskin itu semakin tinggi ya, banyak redundant kalau banyak orang di PHK dan seterusnya. Nah itu ada hal-hal yang perlu kita angkat di dalam kasus-kasus penelitian kita untuk bening gitu ya. Air yang kita tempati ini ada keruh-keruhnya yang harus kita bersihkan. Nah ini yang perlu kita angkat dalam ini adalah beberapa contoh. Dan ini ada teman-teman bisa nanti eksplorasi eksplorasi link yang ada ini untuk jenis-jenis penelitian lain. Oke, next. Ini ada alternatif dan suggestion, tadi sudah ada di CV saya, tapi kita bisa melakukan publik yang sangat grounded kalau menurut saya. Kenapa? Karena kita berangkat dari diri kita sendiri sebagai peneliti, siapa kita, bagaimana kita, nilai-nilai apa yang bisa kita angkat di dalam pembelajaran, itu yang kita kenalkan kepada dunia luas ya. Yang kita kenalkan dan itu kita angkat ke permukaan dan kita berikan sebagai pengayaan dalam dunia pendidikan kita. Jadi dunia pendidikan itu lebih berwarna dengan adanya transformative research ini. Saya tulis beberapa chapter di sini dan ini buku yang terbaru, insya Allah publish tahun ini, mohon doanya. Ya, tapi nggak di Springer ya. Kalau Pak David keren di Springer, di Brilliant Publisher. Nulisnya juga bareng-bareng teman-teman di e-turn ya, namanya International Transformative Educational Research Network yang terdiri dari beberapa peneliti di berbagai belahan dunia. Next, jadi how to do. Jadi bagaimana cara kita untuk menemukan ide-ide riset yang daging semua gitu istilahnya, yang daging semua. Pertama, cara paling mudah adalah knowing the self. Pahami diri kita dulu. Ya, kita harus mengenal diri kita sendiri. Kita tuh siapa sih? Mahasiswa di STIT NU Al-Hikmah Mojokerto. Nah, ada beberapa hal yang menarik ya kalau saya ambil dari logo Al-Hikmah ini ya. Yang pertama, nanti saya jelaskan kenapa. Yang kedua, NU-nya. Yang ketiga, Al-Hikmahnya. Ini ada satu lagi Mojokertonya. Saya lupa nggak nambahin Mojokertonya ya. Ada 4 hal yang bisa mahasiswa dan teman-teman dosen Al-Hikmah eksplor di dalam penelitian tentang tarbiyahnya. Apa sih tarbiyah itu? Nah, tarbiyah itu kalau menurut saya sebuah filosofi tentang pendidikan yang sangat unik. Ya, agak berbeda dengan pendidikan. Kalau atau kata education di bahasa Inggris. Kalau di education itu dia berasal dari bahasa Latin, kalau nggak salah educate ya namanya. Dia seperti nurturing, mirip-mirip dengan mendidik. Kenapa kita disebut pendidikan, nggak pengajaran? Kalau ngajar aja bukan mendidik ternyata gitu. Jadi kita selesai ngajar nih, saya sudah mendidik siswa saya. Oh belum. Belum tentu. Apakah ada prinsip-prinsip pendidikan yang sudah diberikan kepada siswa atau belum? Nah, tarbiyah itu dalam bahasa Arab ya. Itu akar katanya dari rodiyah. Yarba. Maksudnya tumbuh dan membesar. Masya'a wa taraqqa. Jadi tumbuh dan membesar. No, kita itu di dalam tarbiyah itu nurturing something which is our students to grow and develop. Sebagaimana kita ingin membesarkan tanaman, ya, kondisi siram tiap hari, diperhatikan tingginya, diperhatikan daun-daunnya, apakah ada yang rusak atau tidak, apa yang harus kita lakukan kalau daunnya rusak, dipupukin dan seterusnya. Itu nurturing. Kita perhatikan satu persatu peserta didik kita untuk supaya mereka bisa tumbuh dan membesar. Ke arah mana? Yang menarik dari kata tarbiyah ini, dia satu akar kata dengan kata rob. Ya. Bahkan katanya, kata rob itu berasal dari kata robiyah ini. Gitu ya. Jadi berarti ketika kita mendidik dengan kata tarbiyah, artinya fokus atau arah dari pendidikan itu harus mengarahkan peserta didik kita, mengingatkan mereka kepada siapa? Kepada Robnya. Gitu ya. Jadi ke sana. Terus mau ngajar apa? Itu ada unsur-unsur Rabbaninya. Ada unsur-unsur pendekatan kepada Robnya. Apakah sudah ke sana? Bagaimana caranya ke sana? Teman-teman pasti lebih tahu daripada saya ya. Nah, yang berikutnya, yang ketiga adalah yang khas dari Al-Hikmah adalah ke-NU-annya. Kalau saya boleh bilang ya, di dalam disertasi saya yang tadi disebutkan dapat award itu, yang ngasih award itu kampus yang di Australia, dan awardnya itu di examiner sama 3 penguji yang beragama lainnya, beragama Kristen, satunya Katolik, satunya lagi Buddha. Jadi bukan orang Muslim semua. Tapi ada satu bab saya yang bicara tentang Islam, satu bab lagi tentang founding father di Indonesia. Salah satunya saya masukkan Kiai Haji Hasyim Asy'ari sebagai sosok pendidik di Indonesia. Kenapa? Kenapa kok saya nggak masukkan Ki Hajar Dewantoro? Loh, ngawur. Saya masukkan Ki Hajar Dewantoro, tapi saya sandingkan beliau dengan Ki Haji Hasyim Asy'ari dan Ki Haji Ahmad Dahlan. Kenapa? Karena bagi saya kedua tokoh ini sangat legendaris, bahkan sampai sekarang di dunia pendidikan. Coba cek mana di Indonesia ini pulau yang nggak ada madrasahnya. Ya. Seseorang yang melakukan sesuatu karena Robnya itu akan memberikan dampak yang luar biasa di bidang apapun dia, long lasting ya, long lasting itu lama banget ininya dampaknya, sebagaimana yang diberikan oleh Kiai Haji Hasyim Asy'ari dan Kiai Haji Ahmad Dahlan. Kalau saya jadi Menteri Pendidikan, saya jadikan ini tokoh pendidikan Nusantara ini, dua beliau ini ya. Pak Menteri, moga-moga dengar. Kenapa? Sampai sekarang sekolahnya ada, gitu loh. Ya. Ya, jadi harusnya Bapak pendidikan itu banyak, gitu. Ya. Nah, sehingga di sini saya ingin menekankan bagaimana peran dan karya beliau di dalam dunia pendidikan. Salah satunya adalah pesantren itu harus kita jaga. Ya, itu adalah institusi pendidikan yang khas yang ada di Indonesia. Lalu mendirikan NU sebagai organisasi Islam terbesar di Indonesia dan pencetus resolusi jihad dalam pertempuran 10 November di Surabaya. Loh, keren toh. Pada tahun 1892, beliau menetap di Mekah selama 7 tahun dan berguru pada dari Mekah. Jadi jangan anti Arab, nggih. Yang berikutnya, pemikiran Kiai Haji Hasyim Asy'ari dalam bidang pendidikan itu termaktub dalam kitab yang berjudul Adab Al-Alim wal Al-Muta'alim bla bla bla. Banyak, panjang itu judulnya. Saya harap STITNU Al-Hikmah punya kitab beliau. Dibedah oleh para ahlinya di sana, dijadikan tulisan, dimasukkan jurnal-jurnal internasional, supaya nanti kalau saya citasi enak gitu ya. Saya nggak perlu nyitasi yang lain-lain yang dari sendiri, istilahnya begitu. Nah, yang berikutnya teman-teman, kata terakhir ya dari STIT yaitu Al-Hikmah, the wisdom. Maka selayaknya setiap penelitian yang dicetuskan baik oleh dosen maupun mahasiswa di STIT Al-Hikmah bring the wisdom to the community, to the society, to the global network. Jadi semuanya harus membawa hikmah bagi masyarakat yang luas. Bagaimana bentuk-bentuk penelitiannya, bagaimana topik-topik penelitiannya bisa menginspirasi dan menggugah supaya membangun sebuah peradaban itu tadi. Sebagaimana lagu yang di awal dinyanyikan. Okay. Jadi ayo teman-teman bangkit bersama. Saya nggak bisa melakukan ini sendiri. Makanya yang saya bisa lakukan, setiap saya diundang seminar, saya kompori teman-teman di institusinya untuk mengenal dirinya, untuk menggali penelitian-penelitian di bidangnya dengan kembali kepada akar jati dirinya sendiri, sesuai dengan nama institusi dan visi misinya. Itu yang hanya bisa saya lakukan. Baik, next. Saya masuk pada slide terakhir ya. The conclusion is the world is recovering. Dunia sedang mengalami masa penyembuhan di dalam masa pandemi ini. So should be the educational research. Jadi pada penelitian-pendidikan kita juga harus mulai beralih kembali, keep on the track, kembali lagi kepada tracknya, tetap menginspirasi dan memberikan nilai-nilai baik pada masyarakat. Bring what students really need to grow and develop, not what the researcher needs to get. Ya. Karena kalau hanya sekedar meneliti aja si penelitinya pasti dapat uang. Tapi bukan begitu. Si penelitinya pasti dapat uang, si mahasiswanya pasti lulus. Tapi apa iya hanya sekedar itu? Rugi dong kita, nggak dapat amal jariah. Maka mari saya dalam kesempatan ini ingin menggugah kesadaran Bapak Ibu dosen dan juga teman-teman mahasiswa STITNU Al-Hikmah untuk memikirkan ulang topik-topik penelitiannya dan kembali muncul dengan penelitian-penelitian yang menginspirasi, khususnya yang membawa ide-ide tentang tarbiyah, ide-ide tentang pendidikan yang didasari tarbiyah, yang dilatar belakangi ke-NU-annya, ya, prinsip-prinsip pendidikannya Kiai Haji Hasyim Asy'ari, dan yang membawa hikmah dan membawa kultur yang harus dimojokkan. Itu dari saya, senyampainya ada kekurangan, mohon maaf. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya kembalikan kepada Ibu Ira sebagai moderator.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih banyak Ibu Neni, sangat memotivasi sekali. Okay, so we come to the question and answer. Anyone who would like to ask to Bu Neni, you may ask right away. Oh, ini ada yang, you don't need to send direct message to me. You may ask Bu Neni right away. Boleh ya Bu Neni? Okay. So Miftah, yeah, you may activate your video and ask to Bu Neni right away. Langsung saja, Miftah, tidak perlu di saya, enggak apa-apa.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Selamat siang, Bu. Mohon maaf, saya mau bertanya. Bagaimana pendapat Anda atau nasihat Anda kami mahasiswa agar bisa melakukan perubahan lebih baik, baik dari segi agama, pendidikan maupun ekonomi di masyarakat, baik daerah maupun kota bisa Indonesia ini secara umum. Tapi dalam keterbatasan ilmu yang kami miliki. Seperti itu saja. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum.
Maaf Pak, kurang jelas keterbatasan apa Pak?
Dalam keterbatasan ilmu yang kami miliki.
Oh, oke. Langsung ya, Bu Ren.
Tinggi, monggo silahkan Bu Neni.
Oke, terima kasih Pak Miftah atas pertanyaannya. Sama Pak, saya juga terbatas ilmunya. Kalau kita alhamdulillah menyadari ilmunya terbatas nih, maka yang bisa kita lakukan adalah menggali ilmu yang kita butuhkan. Kita butuh apa sih? Oh, kita butuh kembali kepada pemahaman ya, kita bisa kembali kepada pemahaman yang sudah kita miliki dalam agama kita dan dalam komunitas kita. Ya, kita cari tahu, pasti ada yang bisa digali gitu ya, diteliti, dan itu nanti akan bisa menjadi sebuah titik tolak dari peradaban kita kalau saya rasa. Maka yang bisa kita lakukan kembali kepada the main literatures that we have, which is Quran and Hadis. Jadi kita kembali dulu ke situ. Kalau Bapak tanya bagaimana caranya, ya ngaji Pak. Ngaji ke kiai-kiai anu banyak Pak. Saya dulu belajarnya juga kitab kuning Pak di Ampel situ Pak ya. Nah itu ngaji ke beliau-beliau, menggali lalu menyaringkan, mengintisari dari pendidikan di dalam Islam itu seperti apa, terus bagaimana kita bisa mengemasnya dalam cara kita mengajar di SD misalnya, terus bagaimana kita bisa menyisipkannya dalam pembelajaran matematika di SD misalnya seperti itu, lakukan apa yang bisa kita lakukan. Ya, tapi yang prinsip utama adalah belajar dulu gitu. Kita sambil belajar. Jadi susun forum-forum diskusi gitu ya dengan dosen dan mahasiswa, lalu harus ada kiai di situ. Masuk STITNU kan kiai neo. Harus ada kiainya di situ ya Pak Yusuf ya. Nanti ngaji bareng-bareng dan mencermati Quran dan hadis itu untuk bisa disarikan ke dalam pembelajaran dan kitab-kitabnya Syekh Kiai Haji Hasyim Asy'ari. Begitu. Kalau saran saya seperti itu.
Alhamdulillah saya Haji Muksinin Holis selaku rektor juga pendiri pondok pesantren tapi yang saya ingin sampaikan atau saya ajarkan
Baik, terima kasih Pak Miftah. Ya, for the next question dari Ibu Farida ini. Monggo, Bu Farida Isroani.
Terima kasih atas waktunya. Perkenalkan, saya Farida Isroani dari dosen dari Universitas Sunan Giri Bojonegoro. Di sini saya mau sedikit konsultasi dan banyak pertanyaan sebenarnya karena sangat tertarik sekali dan sangat bermanfaat sekali semua materi dari Bu Neni. Subhanallah, terima kasih ya. Terkait study case, terkait tentang pendidikan, riset pendidikan ini, kebetulan saya itu hobinya meneliti tentang pendidikan inklusi. Nah, untuk di new normal ini, di era pandemi ini kalau untuk menangani problematika pendidikan inklusi, kebetulan saya background-nya adalah PAI, dosen PAI, dan juga pernah melakukan penelitian di berbagai sekolah inklusi dan juga SLB. Itu banyak sekali problematika yang dialami oleh guru PAI, di mana kalau sekolah tersebut, kalau ada GPK atau guru pendamping khusus, seperti di Kabupaten Tuban, itu ada lulusan S1 pendidikan luar biasa dari UNESA, itu alhamdulillah bisa berkolaborasi dengan saya. Terus dari situ itu saya menemui berbagai kendala dan kesulitan untuk kolaborasi atau tim teaching lah istilahnya, untuk menghadapi, untuk mencari solusi problematika yang dialami oleh ABK di sekolah inklusi tersebut. Dan bahkan di beberapa sekolah yang mengatasnamakan sekolah penyelenggara inklusi, tapi ternyata ketika saya mengadakan kunjungan, penelitian, ternyata GPK-nya rata-rata hanya guru BK. Berarti kan otomatis itu untuk kehadiran GPK kan sangat diperlukan gitu. Nah, kebetulan tahun 2019 kemarin itu saya melakukan pendidikan inklusi itu penelitian di luar negeri, itu di Malaysia, di kampus USIM, Universitas Islam Malaysia, terus di sekolah negeri 9 itu di Selangor, terus ada lagi di taman kanak-kanak seperti itu dari tingkat TK sampai tingkat perguruan tinggi, bahkan di Madrasah Singapura Muhajirin Mosque itu sangat menarik sekali untuk pendidikan inklusi. Di sana itu dari jenjang TK, kalau saya lihat, kalau kita lihat Ipin Upin itu ya, saya tuh sampai di Malaysia itu teringat Ipin Upin. Itu di sana memang tersedia fasilitas, sarana prasarana itu dari tingkat taman kanak-kanak sampai perguruan tinggi itu sangat diperhatikan. Makanya untuk yang mahasiswa Yusim itu di sana tuh banyak sekali untuk mahasiswa yang tahfidz, padahal mempunyai keterbatasan. Ada yang tunagrahita, tunalaras, tunadaksa, tunarungu, dan sebagainya. Termasuk juga yang di Singapura tuh di madrasah sana itu juga banyak yang tahfidz juga. Nah, makanya sampai saya tuh tertarik dan sangat senang sekali untuk melakukan penelitian pendidikan inklusi ini. Cuman yaitu tadi terkendala ketika di sekolah itu minimnya guru pendamping khusus yang memang benar-benar kualifikasi ijazahnya itu dari apa ini sarjana pendidikan luar biasa seperti itu, Ibu. Terima kasih. Mohon sarannya dan masukannya. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bu siapa tadi, Bu? Iren? Yang bertanya Ibu siapa?
Farida Bun ini.
Oh iya, Bu Farida, mohon maaf. Namanya Kak sahabat saya kok lupa ya. Oke, Bu Farida. Ya, bagus ya Bu ya. Jadi inklusi ini memang topik trending yang menarik ya di dalam bidang riset pendidikan. Karena adanya, makanya disebut kebutuhan khusus ya, karena dia tidak bisa digeneralisasikan dengan pendidikan anak-anak pada umumnya. Mereka memang butuh penanganan khusus. Tapi yang menarik ini dari riset-riset yang sudah Ibu teliti ya dan Ibu kembangkan, lalu apa yang Ibu tadi sudah studi banding ke Malaysia dan seterusnya. Temuan-temuan yang mengejutkan itu ketika anak-anak bisa tahfidz ya Bu ya. Tapi kita terkendala SDM gitu kan di Indonesia.
Iya, betul.
Sebenarnya yang perlu kita lakukan itu adalah memahami ya Bu ya, memahami. Hakikat anak-anak itu kan sebenarnya sama ya, semua manusia itu sama. Jadi yang menarik adalah saya punya kakak ipar, mungkin ini bisa dituangkan di dalam dunia pendidikan di kampus ya. Kakak ipar saya tuh dulu lulusannya S1 Geografi. Tapi akhir-akhir ini beliau itu spesialisnya ngajari anak-anak inklusi. Ngapunten nggih. Ya. Tua yang anak-anaknya itu berkebutuhan khusus untuk mengajari mereka sekolah gitu ya. Ngelesi istilahnya, private lesson. Yang menarik adalah temuannya ya. Ketika dia mengajari anak-anak itu baca tulis Al-Qur'an, itu lebih cepat daripada ketika mereka memahami baca tulis biasa. Nah, ini kalau menurut saya menarik ini ya. Maka pendekatan yang dia lakukan adalah dia dekatkan dulu anak-anak itu pada Qur'annya. Gitu. Terus jadi kalau dia ngajar itu sambil nyetel murotal. Kalau ngajar biasa nih, tapi kalau dia ngajar pertama diawali ngajar ngaji dulu. Ngajar ngaji, terus setelah itu hafalan, dan anak-anak itu cepat hafalannya, cepet-cepet. Mau apapun model keterbatasannya. Jadi dia menangani anak ADHD 1, terus ada anak apa namanya? Saya lupa ya istilahnya yang lagi tren di Indonesia itu apa? Ya anaknya nggak fokus itu loh. Ya, anaknya nggak fokus itu. Ya itu satu ya. Terus ada lagi yang lain yang berbeda, speech delay 1. Tapi yang diajari ngaji itu lebih cepat gitu, cepat. Dan ketika diajak hafalan itu cepat. Masya Allah ya, saya juga, loh kok iso ya Mbak? Ya, iya. Akhirnya karena dia melihat indikasi itu, ketika dia ngajar, itu sambil diselingi murotal. Nah ini sama sebenarnya, kalau di dunia barat, itu untuk memicu apa namanya otak siswa, itu ada beberapa sekolah yang menyetelkan apa namanya musik-musik klasik. Nah itu juga disarankan untuk wanita hamil dan seterusnya. Kalau kita bukan musik. Nah ini kalau misalnya Ibu bisa teliti ya, Ibu bisa coba cermati dan bagaimana itu bisa berdampak pada siswa-siswa Ibu, monggo. Nanti ada dosen-dosen UNESA yang juga di inklusi itu bisa Ibu ajak diskusi, beberapanya juga mungkin fokus di sana. Kalau perlu dihubungkan dengan beliau-beliau bisa saya bantu.
Terima kasih Ibu, sangat berharap sekali.
Kami.
Baik, mohon maaf Ibu Neni, ini I'm sorry to interrupt that. I think it's enough for 2 questionnaire, yeah. Because we will move to the presentation of the journal. It's a very inspiring one, Bu Neni. It's a very fruitful seminar. Okay, we got a lot of inspiration as teachers and researchers ini, Bu Neni.
Thank you Ibu Trena, thank you teman-teman.
Terima kasih Bu Neni.
Maybe before we close our session, Bu Neni, would you please give us a closing statement, Bu Neni, if we may?
Apa ya closing statementnya? Ayo kembali. Let's revert to our local values and wisdom. Saya bilang revert karena kita sejatinya memang harus kembali kepada nilai-nilai baik yang sudah kita anut, kita percaya, dan kita miliki selama ini, Bapak Ibu, tanpa mengecilkan kontribusi dari dunia barat yang juga sudah membesarkan kita juga harus mengangkat kembali hal-hal baik tersebut dan kita terjemahkan dalam dunia pendidikan kita. Semoga ke depan kita bisa berkolaborasi, saya bisa citasi teman-teman Al-Hikmah yang memiliki paper yang jos ya di dunia pendidikan tentang ide-ide Kiai Hasyim Asy'ari, KNU-an, ke-Al-Hikmahan, dan juga ketarbiyahan. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih banyak Bu Neni. Mati ya punya saya. Thank you very much, Bu Neni. We have very inspirational speakers. All right, so I guess that Bu Neni, if you want to leave the Zoom, it's okay. So thank you very much for spending your time with us.
Thank you. Saya izin live dulu, Bapak Ibu.
Ya, terima kasih banyak Ibu Neni. See you next time. So, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of the webinar for today. Thank you very much, Pak David and also Bu Neni. Hopefully, we can meet in another academic event. See you on the next ISIT. On behalf of the committee, I would also like to apologize for any shortcoming and inconvenience. And for the next agenda, I will give it back to the Master of Ceremony. Thank you very much. I'm Irene Rosalina. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih Bu Neni.
Terima kasih saya sampaikan kepada pemateri yang sangat luar biasa, Mr. David Peridan, PhD, dan Bu Neni Mariana, PhD, serta para partisipan baik umum dan mahasiswa. Untuk acara selanjutnya, bagi mahasiswa STITNU Al-Hikmah yang belum melakukan presensi via Zoom, silakan diisi dan ditunggu. Selanjutnya, untuk acara presentasi artikel akan dilaksanakan di kelas barat. Untuk pembagian presentasi sudah dibagi oleh panitia, jadi langsung aja tanya ke teman-teman kesekretariatan. Terus untuk sertifikat, bisa langsung mengisi nama lengkap di link yang nanti akan di-share di grup. Karena sertifikat akan tercetak sesuai data yang Anda masukkan. Jadi tolong diisi nama lengkap yang benar. Waktu nanti ada link yang sudah di-share lewat grup. Dengan ucapan alhamdulillah, acara ICT ini ditutup. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Silakan untuk para mahasiswa bisa langsung menuju ke kelas barat dan dilihat namanya masing-masing karena sudah tercantum di sana.
Terima kasih Aisyah, terima kasih partisipan.
Ya, Isoma sebentar ya. Jadi langsung kalau sudah selesai langsung ke kelas masing-masing.
Itu ada Bu. Belum atau siapa sih kon gereng-gerengan? Oh, iya. Iya.
Halo Bu.
Ya cara nih iso main lah.
Biar nggak jemput sama misalnya anak-anak ada ujian atau apa itu bisa kan kelas akhir udah masuk akhir terus ujian nasional.
Iya Bu.
Alhamdulillah. Terima kasih.